Aloha. Ekaleo. Salapia lewa. Ekaleo. Hi, everyone. Happy Independence Day, my fellow Nigerians. Hello, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. Remy? It's been a long day. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, fellow Nigerians. Happy Independence Day. Let's get so I can see. Had to go do another eye exam yesterday. Y'all, don't be deceived by the face. I'm telling you. This 46 is kicking my you know what when it comes to don't be deceived by the face. My nephew is watching. What is he saying? He's not like, isn't that same lady I always see? Pictures everywhere with my mom's phone. Hello, Miss 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. How are you? Happy Independence Day to all my fellow Nigerian immigrants. Home is still home. At the end of the day, if that's 1 year, home is still home. He's wide awake. Oh, bless your heart. Hello, Mr. Maggie. Hey, my mama is back. That's Adetone 63. Hello, Mr. Maggie. Whose miracle never your miracle is the one that just keeps giving. And by the way, after talking to you, we got your approval notices, so everything will be sent out to you. But just to home is still home. Citizenship in another man's land or not, home is still home at the end of the day. And we thank God for his mercies, and we thank God for his greatness. Hello, Buyer Diamonds. How are you? Hello, Teju. How are you? Hi, everyone. Happy Independence Day. I was talking to a friend this morning, and his mom's birthday is actually his mom's birthday is not only October 1st. His mom was born October 1st, 1960. So she was born on the same day Nigeria gained independence, the exact date. So I was like, your mom is young. I was like, come think of it. Nigeria is still that young, 64. Like Morogwati, by like 200 years, but that ain't the case. But anyway, it got me thinking, like, wherever God takes us in this life, home is still home. What can we do? It is what it is. How are we celebrating? By sleeping? Let me see, Abdena. How are you feeling? Are you feeling much better now? I hope you are. But she said, how we celebrate by sleeping? Y'all, listen. Right now, I should be in bed because I went to bed at 4. I think it was 4:27. It was almost 4:30, and I had to get up to take my kid to school at 6:30. And I've been up since then. Why did I go to bed at 4:30? Because I had 6 cases that we had to get out, and every case I have to do a final review before any case leaves my firm. So we have another attorney, but I do the final review because then I have OCD that way. And number 1, number 2, it's my name on it. So what can I do? It is what it is. Hello, Mr. Femi Speechless. How are you? We're celebrating with Abunike. Exactly. So yeah, celebrating by going to sleep. But anyway, welcome here. And for y'all who are wondering what Independence Day is, it's not American Independence. No, it's Nigerian. If you're Nigerian, if you're not a Nigerian, welcome and celebrate with us. It's our Independence Day today, so it's a green day today. I had a green and white jumpsuit today, so I mean, listen, you can take the girl out of Nigeria. Don't be fooled by all the bouginess. No, she's still very Nigerian. My mom will tell you, like, you're very cool, very, very sharp, but ask my mom. Like, I am the girl that will eat swallow for breakfast. Tell me somebody else who is Americanized who does that. No, listen. Because growing up, I used to eat swallow for breakfast with my dad. Like a manje balaro for breakfast. You look at me like, what? Yes. That's my breakfast thing. What can I say? It is what it is. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale. Immigration attorney, I eat swallow for breakfast. And no shame in my game. Ask my mom is here, she'll tell you. I don't play. That's me. See, I'm not alone. Because why not? Like, who says breakfast has to be yam and eggs or bread and akara nogi? That's fine. But there's some of us who have like heavy stomach that we need. I eat smell for see. I'm glad I'm not in one scenario for real. Like that's one of the things I love to see my family. So my mom shouldn't think like Angela and Timawa. But one of the things I look forward to when I go to Boston to see my family is because I know guaranteed I'm gonna eat swallow all day every day. 𝒑𝒂💏 Not ever. It's different. I'm telling you. See, I told you you're my sister from another mother. Not ever. Especially when it's cold ever. You have the stew is hot, but it's cold. Like forget. Anyway, let's leave it alone. Because let's leave it before it starts to. Oh my gosh. I'm just thinking like my mom went to I haven't played I don't play my food. Like growing up, my grandmother, I mean my maternal grandmother, I was told that she really enjoyed taking care of me when I was sick. That she really loved she really loved taking care of me when I was sick because she knew I was going to get better rather quickly. Why? Because she knew that as I was throwing up food, I was eating it and just replacing the nutrients. So I was always very very quick to get to heal. Go figure. But anyway, I'm an attorney. I'm an immigration attorney based in Alabama. um, Represent immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case, if there's a case that we can represent you in, we'll be glad to represent you. Contact information, if you are on Facebook or YouTube, is scrolling across the screen. If you're on TikTok, hey TikTok family. Okay, that's a very interesting username. If you're on Instagram, and I know Miss Senator Sanctuary has you covered. If you're on YouTube, Miss Abeda has you covered as well. We come live, and by we I mean all of us collectively. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Alabama Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Central Eastern Standard Time. That's the Miss Sanctuary, Miss Abundance on YouTube. So please subscribe, share, follow, like at Olale Immigration on all platforms. And if you've got an immigration case that we can help you with, we'll be glad to help you with that. And in addition to Happy Independence Day, Happy New Month. It is October. We are almost at the tail end, really at the end of 2024. This year went pretty fast. Like it was just July. We were in Massachusetts, CJ and I, to see grandma and cousins. And now we're in October. We have just 2 months left. Let me use this opportunity to remind us, please let us vote next month. And yes, live YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please get ready to vote. We're about a month away from voting. Let's do our part. It is important that we all chip in. It just occurred to me because my kid is in college. How is that going to work? Is voting? I gotta find that. That's something I have to find out for him. But anyway, let's vote. Do your part. Vote. I think there has to be some kind of exemption or something. I'll find out. But for those of us who God has given the privilege to be citizens, go ahead and do what you can. And I'm not telling you to go vote if you're not a citizen. No, that's not what I'm saying. But talking of having privileges and all that, Mr. Maggi we're putting back in the limelight. I'm telling you, y'all, we thought what we thought was going to be a conditional green card ended up being a 10-year green card. You ask me how? Don't worry, that's between Mr. Maggi and I. But I'm sure for the rest of your life, you're always going to love celebrating Independence Day. Because I mean, how else would you remember besides Independence Day? How else would you remember October 1st? To know that you don't have to deal with the 751. That is a blessing. So I rejoice with you one more time. And he's just a very, how you have those younger brothers that you can't they get they're always on your nerves, but you can't do without them kind of thing, because they're just lovable. But they just really, it is a testimony. I'm telling you, his whole process. And when you have someone who agrees in faith with you, did he drive me insane? Yes, he did. Yes, he absolutely did. But guess what? I'm stuck with him the rest. What can I do? But it is he truly was is one of those clients where if you tell him something, he would he almost drive me crazy, but he would do it. Sorry. Hello, Ghanaian wife. So I rejoice when I celebrate with you, knowing that that's just your 10th year anniversary, and then find out it's a 10-year green card and New Jersey independence. Write that story. Besides how even let someone else write that story better than God has written it. How can you possibly do that? Miracle not the tired Jesus. I'm telling you, respect you. Happy Independence Day. Write that story, because I got to work and I was like, wait a minute, something isn't adding up here. Like, why am I seeing expiration 2034? Huh? What? And I called him like, okay, something. And then when we figured it out, I was like, oh, like mind blown. Even I was like, what? Yeah. But anyway, so I used that to start this month to say that as God has done for Mr. Magic, and we've rejoiced with him, and we keep rejoicing with him, and being able to have approve everything on all accounts for him. I pray that God will use that as a point of contact to each and every one of us that is still waiting upon him to and waiting on God to do that which he's able to do. And also talking of October 1st, remembering your Independence Day, another case got approved, Mr. E. The funny thing is, yesterday was when we first got the notification we ordered your new card, or the new card is being produced. Before that alert came, I texted him, because there was a whole lot of going on in the case. So I texted him. I was like, I don't know what's going on with USCIS this morning. It looks like somebody is just keyboard happy. And he emailed me back and says, I'm speaking it, and I'm speaking it and agreeing that the next thing we get is going to be an approval. And I emailed back and I say, from your mouth to God's ears, in Jesus' name. I'm not even kidding you, y'all. Not even an hour after my email to him, I got that alert saying new card is being produced on his file petition. This was filed. We filed this in April of 2021. No RFEs. And it was approved, card produced yesterday, approved to the October 1st Independence Day. And so as we start this month with this testimonies to God's glory and to God's glory alone, I pray that our testimonies will be complete. It will not be haphazardly. It will be complete. It will be full. That God in himself alone will return all the glory to him. And this month we shall see him move on our behalf. That which looks like, hello, Miss Baby, that hello, epic movement, that looks like it's been lingering on and on and on, is going to be fast tracked and accelerated. We're going to see breakthroughs beyond what we can even ask or imagine. So shall it be, in Jesus' name. Let's talk immigration. What are we talking about tonight? Okay, so I wanted to bring this to some everyone's attention. When you travel, that's I've got it on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. When you travel, ... What it says, it is a testimony. So what is it? ... means that let's talk about this. Did you know that whenever you travel, either on advanced parole or even when you travel, I've had people who travel on not often do they do that for those who have like a 10-year green cards. But if you're traveling on advanced parole, a non-immigrant visa, where it would be a student visa, H-1B visa, or you have a 2-year green card and then you've got an I-751 pending. That's where I've seen this happen so recurring so many times recently that CBP can check your phone. Congrats to the approved family member. And also congrats in advance for our next. Amen. This month will be better than so shall it be. This will be our best month yet to date in this year 2024 in Jesus' name. We speak it, we come together, we agree, and we speak by faith, knowing that He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above and beyond what we can ask or think. So shall it be. I agree with you, in faith with you. Maybe boy is doing great. How old is he now? So CBP, not USCIS now, because USCIS gives you the advanced parole. They give you the extension notice for your I-751. You're able to travel. But when you're coming back in, is it possible that you encounter issues in the sense of CBP getting nosy and stopping you and asking questions and getting into your device? Absolutely. What gives them the right to do that? Because when you are at the port of entry, if you're in the United States, you've got a constitution protecting you from unlawful search and seizure, right? That's unconstitutional unless it falls with an exemption. One of such exemptions is national security. Once you get to the port of entry, you're coming into the United States. They have a right to search you because it is of national, it falls within that exemption of it's in the interest of national security. So if you have your phone on you, USCIS has a right, not USCIS, CBP has a right to have that phone, go through it. And if there's anything incriminating in your phone, please understand that that information can be used against you, can actually lead them to putting you in immigration court. I have a case right now that's exactly what happened. I had a 751 that was pending, traveled to Nigeria, came back, was coming back in, and sometimes this usually would occur. Not sometimes it's randomly. Sometimes it's because somebody has made a report to USCIS and they've transferred that information to CBP, whatever the case may be, because someone is scorned, someone is angry, someone wants to pay back. What you just never know. But sometimes it's random. It's just random. They just selected, and if you, especially for those who have conditional residencies. And if you have a joint filing, you travel outside the United States without your spouse, they tend to question people like that more than those who actually travel with their spouse or those who file a waiver-based 751. So coming back, CBP decides to ask him questions. The questions led to, hey, we need to see your phone. And sometimes if you tell them no, they'll tell you, we're just going to detain you. And they may refuse, it just gets real, but they have a right to see what's going on in your phone because it is just like they have the discretion to allow you into the country or not. So he had to give them, and unfortunately, he had some things that were incriminating in the sense of that negatively affected his immigration case. Long story short, he is in deportation proceedings. So be aware that, and that's why I wanted to talk about this. If you're not, even for those who have 10-year green cards, understand that the fact that you're permanent resident does not mean that if they have a reason to believe there's something that threatens national security, they can't ask to search you. They can ask to go through your suitcases, your luggage. They can go through your phone and see information. So be careful what you put out there. Be careful the information that you text. I always say, unless it's something that is necessary to save your life. I'm not really sure why you save text messages, because someone like me, because I have OCD. So if it's not for the only text message that I save really are my mom, my son's ex-husband, because we've got 2 kids together. That's about it. Everything else I usually just delete because I am okay, half Gemini. So if I don't have to pay for extra storage, I am paying Apple for nothing. Like my phone that I use is, thank you. My phone that I use is, I try to do ping this time around, like, okay, because I'm always doing right. I have an Apple iPhone 12. Y'all want to laugh? That's on you. Like my kids have a newer version of iPhone that I have. When you're to 16, daddy, let it come out, please. Let it come out and be running. If it's still working and all that. So if I don't have, 12, I don't have much storage. I am not doing it. So if I have to delete you and your messages, I am. But on a more serious note, if you do not have to keep those messages or things that may affect your immigration case on your device, whether it be your phone, be your iPad, please do not. Be aware that you do not have any right to say, oh, no, I'm just going in. No, it is their country. And they have a right to say, we're looking through. Exactly. Why would keep in messages? You know, and in that, maybe because I have lawyer brain. You ain't gonna find anything. Not gonna. No, ma'am, not doing it. Now I can keep things on people till Jesus comes back, but the other way around, no, thank you. Unless it's something I really have to. But in all seriousness, be mindful. I see how I said that. Very mindful. Be mindful of the things that you have on your devices. Be mindful of the fact that that information on the device can actually 12. I have an iPhone 12. It is still working. I'm using it for my Instagram. I'm sure you can see me very clearly. You can hear me loud and clear. You don't like it, too bad. Yeah. I because you have to remember I'm half a devil. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Kilo for kilo for I'm better. See, y'all don't laugh. I think I'm bad. My ex-husband, the father of my two kids, the guy is a physician, like Dr. Lale is an MD. He owns his own clinic. I'm just saying that so you can put things in perspective on what I want to say. The guy has, I think he has iPhone 10. TJ, T, I think he's iPhone 10. He says it is. I even laugh at this phone because his phone is still one of those smaller ones. I think the one, yeah. And I'm like, doctor, kulito yo. But my point is, it's not like the guy can. I mean, he owns the old clinic, so obviously he can afford a new phone. But his thing is, it still works. When he says tobacco me, phone, where it has a point. It does face sound like he goes. So what is the point? Nah, he's an Ekiti man. It's not Egypt, so I'm wondering. But why? That's the whole thing. They want you to keep buying and buying. Now, will I upgrade for my kids? Yeah, I will. Keep your judgment to yourself. But for me, it worked. Let's leave it alone. So and it helps me because I don't have much storage. And the more reason why I have to and delete stuff from my phone. But just be mindful of the things that you keep and know that, especially when you are in the middle of an immigration process, things that you have on your devices, if you're going to be traveling, advanced parole, non-immigrant visa, extension notice, those are statuses that tend to have CBP, put you in secondary inspection. And if they put you in secondary inspection, understand they can go through your luggage, it can go through your device, and you want to be mindful and careful about things you have stored on that. The more you know. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so I hope that helps. Just always looking out for one another. Let's just make sure we're careful with things. And people like, it's like you're telling people. It's my job. CBB can tell me what to tell my people to be mindful of. If they have a problem with it, they can come. Anyway, and that's all she wrote. Okay, let's get to. And if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome in. We do this Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Alabama time, Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. in Eastern Time Zone. And if we've got enough time left, we take questions, immigration. We encourage one another. We pray for one another. This is a God zone. I'm not forcing religion on anyone, but this is just like I have a right to religion and a right of association. You already know what you're coming into. Don't like it, that's okay. But if you come together, we pray with one another, encourage one another, and we always look forward to testimonies that we share with one another. Okay. Anything about how long, and please do not repeat questions. Please do not repeat questions. General information. Hello, Miss Ola. Don't repeat your questions. Put it in the comment section. I try to get through everything. Anything about processing time, how long something is taking, please go on uscis.gov. /processing times. Okay, let's see. Okay, trying to confirm. Okay, let me go back here. Let me just sign it. All right, there we go. How long will it take to receive notice of receipt from USS after submitting application from UNO? As far as receipt notices, I can only go by what I'm seeing in my firm. It can take anywhere from 2 weeks to about 30 days, so give or take. Hello, Miss Gibson. How are you? Well, yes, you have been missing in action. How have you been? Where are your nephews? They're good, especially TJ. My oldest is in college, as it should be. SJ, it's probably watching him, and he will be in college. The baby's here with me, but that's my sidekick. Whoa, what can I do? Thanks, Ms. Alvina. Yes, so please kindly share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's grow our audience. I would very much appreciate that. Okay, share with your family and friends. You just never know who's going to benefit. You just never know. Mr. E, like I talked about, he saw me on social media. Mr. Magic saw me on social media. So you just never know who God is going to use. There's so many immigration attorneys that God uses for everyone's testimony. Your story doesn't have to go through me as long as you have a testimony to speak about. That's what matters at the end of it. I always tell people it's great to be the one that God uses for you. Awesome. But I also know sometimes I'll refer people like, you know what, this is all I can do on this case. I don't want you not to have your own blessings and tests. So let me refer you out to you. It's not about, it's great to share the testimonies, but it's not about me as the immigration attorney. It's about making sure your testimony is complete and full, regardless of who God decides to use. So, happy new month, October. And Ms. Gibson says happy new month, October, everyone. Let's see. A friend filed for kids outside the United States. Kids are waiting for an interview schedule. As far as how long interviews are going to take, that's something that is beyond anyone's control on that one. Hello, Miss Hillary. How are you? I'm tuning into the vlog. Hope all is well. I am well. I can't wait to see you soon. Hopefully, I was hoping to come back later this year, but I hear that it's always like everyone is running away from the cold. Let me know if you're still on, Miss Hillary. They said everyone's running away from the cold, so it's always very, very packed and all of that. But and Miss Hillary, like you just never know where someone is watching from. Miss Hillary has been watching our program for quite a while, and I met her in Jamaica back in August, 2 months ago. So you just never know. Thank you, Mr. Bimbola. She's still there, and so I will be looking at. You already know when I'm coming through. I'll let you know though. I will let you know since I will be able to contact you. I will let you know. But thank you so much for the support. Let's see. Can I process my divorce in Nigeria virtually as a petitioner? I've been resident for 3 years in the U.S. and my ex in Turkey. I wouldn't want to do uncontested divorce. If you've been president, so you're not going to meet the domicile requirements, and that's one thing that has become an issue with immigration cases. You have to understand that these officers are making themselves very, very cumbersome with different countries' requirements, especially when it comes to Nigerians. Truth be told, they have this belief that we are fraudsters. Unfortunately, that's what they believe. And so it's almost like you have a Nigerian divorce. It's like you're guilty before you're proven innocent kind of thing. So if you are going to go through the, Matrimonial Causes Act, it requires that the petitioner if you're filing a petition, you are domiciled in Nigeria. Domiciled means that is your main residence. If you've been living in the United States for 3 years, you cannot possibly say that's your main residence. Unless your spouse in Turkey is, like on a student visa or they intend to go back, but it becomes an issue. So why don't you process your divorce here? And unless if they're not going to agree, then I'm not really sure that you may have to now get a Nigerian family attorney involved and see how that's going to work. Because if your spouse was in Nigeria, then that's different. They can decide to be the petitioner. But in your case, that's different. But just don't get yourself in a bind where it becomes an issue for you. Hello, Miss Christiana. You're going to need a visa. So you're keep in mind having an advanced parole does not allow you to go into another country. That's what advanced parole is for. So as far as getting Canadian visa, that's something you're going to apply for. I don't know Canadian immigration at all, so can't help you with that. But let me be clear, because that question comes up like, okay, I have an advanced, it doesn't mean I can go to Canada. I can. Advanced parole is not for you to be able to enter another country. Advanced parole is for you to be able to gain entry back into the United States and now resume your application. Just so you know. So don't think that you're going and oh my dying padan. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Y'all, I'm telling you, you should have seen me yesterday. Or doing projects. What the hell is that project called? I'm sorry. I'll talk. You should just TJ. What are you asking? Because you should have seen me. I was painting. How to go get spray paint? Because I don't think teachers understand that when they give. What is that project thing you did again? What is the name? Doesn't even have a name. So we just spent the whole of last night doing project that doesn't have a name.
No, it's called a diarrhea.
Shaking it.
A diarrhea.
What he said. So I think teachers, God bless you, because I don't know how y'all do with dealing with our kids. But when y'all give those kids projects, please remember that you are basically telling us parents to do the project, because you should have seen me just spinning those sweat or paint all over, because we needed to do something arctic. What I'm telling you. So I went to Walmart, got Christmas trees green. Got home, the kid says no, like arctic, like snowy white. Why? What's wrong with green? He goes, but there's no green. Nothing is green in the Arctic. Like it has to be white. And we're talking 7 p.m. I'm like, okay, where in how am I? So there's a Dollar General next. I was like, God, please let him have a white spray paint. Me in the Dollar General nighttime, I had 6 cases to still review. That's why I was slept at 4:27. Thank God they had white paints. They came back spraying green leaves into white. So yo, I'm just saying, teachers, God bless you. Hello, Finance Sandy. But please remember, some of us don't even like science. That's why I went to law school. And when it came out, science projects. Please help us help them. We don't like it. Okay, let's see. So I hear project. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go again. All right, let's see. Not too many questions. It's always nice. Thank you, Mr. Festus. Iceland girl. Okay. Do you do NIW? I'm put a pause on taking it. We're getting too many RFEs in NIW. It is driving me up the wall. It looks like somebody turned the knob in USCIS and says, well, this evidence is not enough. And I had a 567-page case that was just, I thought it was a slam dunk, only for us to get an RFE yesterday. So for right now, and I've got quite a bit that we have to still get out. So now for the new ones, we are having to add, more letters, more, evidence to satisfy each prong. So it's a lot going on now that I've paused that, and I don't have the capacity to do that until January. So I will resume that come January, but we need to clear what we have right now. Do I have to include a copy of the complete I-129 application for my fiance to bring out? Is no, you do not. General information. Roll Tide is 1 week already. Oh my goodness. Kids grow real fast, I'm telling you. Why would USCIS approve I-130 right after interview and ask for evidence for I-45 and give you 7 days? Because they need additional evidence for your I-45. Yeah, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, thank you. Okay. Let's see. If his mommy. After biometrics in the VAC is what next? You're going to have to wait. Okay, let's see. Okay. I have this trolls. You have to put them in their place. Can one get married after divorce is dissolved and immediately file for green card? Can one get married after divorce? You mean after marriage is dissolved, right? Can one get married after marriage is dissolved and immediately file? Okay. How quickly you can get married after a divorce will depend on the state you live in. For instance, in my state in Alabama, you have once you're divorced, you have to wait at least 60 days before you can remarry someone else, unless the exception is if you're going to remarry the person you just got divorced from. That's the only exception of getting married immediately. So every state has their own requirement. There's some states that you don't have to wait. There's no waiting period to get remarried. There's some states like Alabama, you have to wait 60 days. Some states is 30 days. It just depends. That's going to determine how quickly you can get remarried. And then how soon after that to file for the green card. It depends. It's very fact specific. What do you have already that you're going to be able to use, unless you're talking in a case where your divorce decree was an issue, and so you're going to remarry the same person that you already filed before, so you already have your evidence. It just depends on your specific case. Okay, so my wife's case was sent back from the embassy after her interview. So just making sure agenda. So the embassy sent her case back to USCIS. Is that what you're saying? You're welcome. Oh, okay. So are they recommending a revocation? Does she need a waiver? I mean, that's something you may want to sit down with a lawyer to talk about, because that's no how I can figure out what's going on in her case without knowing more about that. What type of questions are asked during an EB-1A green card interview with dependent spouse? It's not necessarily about, so hardly does USCIS schedule. Now, are we? Is this you here in the United States or at the embassy? Embassy or here in the United States? Okay, hardly does USCIS schedule interviews in employment-based cases. So if they schedule that for you, it's more about admissibility issues. It's not about the petition. It's more because the petition has been approved. I will take it that the petition has been approved. So, and most likely you file concurrently. When they schedule an interview in an EB case, there's something. There's usually just look through your file. Hopefully you have an attorney. So questions that they may arise may be, if the principal beneficiary, hopefully they didn't violate any of their non-immigrant visa status, work such as working without authorization. If there is, and I'm not saying that's you, but maybe sometimes if there's an arrest issue, I do a good bit of employment-based cases. When it comes to employment-based cases, I represent about 3 universities, and we primarily do perm applications. Perm is employer-sponsored, and out of almost 10 years of doing that, I don't think I've had more than 3 employment-based cases scheduled for interview, and all those 3 had a reason. There was a reason specific. The last one being that there's a domestic violence, a domestic dispute, I should put it that way, between the couple. So they got their green cards, but that was the reason. They just wanted to clarify some things. So it's a whole lot of, so review your file, and hopefully you have a lawyer. If not, sit down with a lawyer just to go through your admissibility questions and see if there's anything that stands out in your application. That's usually what it is, because for the most part, they don't schedule interviews for employment-based cases. Okay, let's see. Yes, Miss Jane. All righty. You're welcome. Hopefully, we pray that all things will go well for your interview. Okay, let's see. Is my nephew still watching? He's probably sleeping now. Like, that lady talks a lot. Like, no, let's go sleep. Oh, Temilola, Miss Abena, aka Temilola, Happy Independence Day. So for purposes of tonight, we're going to call you Temilola because that's the only way we can wish you Happy Independence Day. We don't have a choice. Great night. I mean, it was my mom was telling me that back, even as just, well, I was going to say recent as it is, but it is a recent. But my mom said there was a time when, especially before they had airlines where you could do a layover in Europe or something, where America really was begging Africans to come to United States. I have an uncle-in-law that he actually had recruiters go to Nigeria, and that's how he came to United States. They literally went to meet him in Nigeria with a scholarship. So, because a lot of Nigerians didn't want to come to US, it was too far. It was cold. Like, and maybe if I'm remembering correct, my mom said they can actually bring Naira to the United States, and you didn't have to bother, converting your money and all of that. So our country was good at some point. So it will be good again. If my people who are called by my name, humble themselves, he would heal our land. So there's still hope for our country. There's still hope. Let's see. Your unwavering support to this community is much appreciated. Yes, Miss Abena, can we just even take time to I know there are other people like Miss Hillary and in Ghanaian wife is married to a Ghanaian, but our very own Miss Abena, can we just take time to acknowledge our Ghanaian turned Nigerian sister? Like, we've already turned her into Nigerian, whether she likes it or not. But we just want to say thank you because she supports. Majority of my clients are Nigerians. I'm Nigerian, so it is what it is. But the way she supports our community, not just the African community, but the Nigerian community, we just want to say thank you, Ms. Abena, and that's why we've given her the Yoruba name of Timilola. Eating swallow for breakfast, that's norm to me. What can I tell you? Okay, let's see. Wakiwe banga soup. Y'all don't start. Cold it like hits differently. It does with really, really hot soup. I can eat swallow 3 times a day. That feeling is epic. Like, if you haven't, I'm telling you, it, y'all don't get me started. And once again, we welcome everyone to the most positive immigration space on social platforms, safest space to celebrate immigration victories and ask questions about new policies on immigration with this lady right here. Just to your loan and vote yes. It is absolutely important to vote. Mr. Sangre said, Mr. Magic word God the way he word you. I'm telling you, Mr. Magic, is that younger brother that you can't do without him. You can't do it. You don't even know what to do with him. But then again, he's like, okay, when you don't see him, you're like, okay, where he is, and then when you see him, it's like, okay, why are you here? Like, like, because Lord have mercy. But we thank God, this whole immigration process can be very nerve wracking, but we thank God. I remember the first time he got here fighting with me. So that's true. I totally forgot. See, Mr. Magic, we don't forget stuff. Yeah, you actually were fighting the same people now that have become your virtual best friends. I'm praying for you. See, that's why you just never know when you're climbing the stairs. Be nice to those you're seeing up, because the same ones that are going to help you on your way back down. I'm reminding him of that day, the first day. I worry her so much. Yes, his lawyer is extremely patient. No, it's not. You were just lucky. You still are, because three times at least she could have easily chosen to withdraw representation, but she didn't. That's true. That's true. I just remember. I just remember. I remember one time. I think I emailed like, "I'm about to withdraw from your case." Like I just really have to. Hello, Mr. Oladimeji. Thank you for not giving up on me. Aw. If I withdraw from a case, I've, it's something has led to that point. Those who I represent know that something has led to that point where I'm like, you know what? Okay, that's it. That's what happens when you put God in front of which is the one thing I love about you practice. Thank you. I was so unruly. I came here fighting everyone. Yes, you did. This is why I was removed from the like I said. Yes, you did. I was like, we ain't doing that. Mm-mm. Hello, Ethic Movement. Miss Hello, I am Busolavi. How are you? Happy Independence Day. Okay, let's see. Um, okay. Well, we never knew better yesterday. Amen. I've noticed something about this community when we all agree to something, it works out always, and so shall it be. Someone who got a green card and voted without knowing the consequences of that can be consequences of what can be done about that situation. Ooh, you want to talk to a lawyer, because claiming or acting as a citizen is a permanent bar. There's no waiver for that. So sit down with a lawyer. I'm not even going to bring that up so it does not put attention on you. See, Mr. Bernard says that you're ahead of me. I'm using iPhone 11 and same. I'm not buying storage. Why? Okay, iPhone 16 is out. A year from now, 17 will be out. They say bring money, spend money. Okay, is it going to? Do you hear better than maybe you hear? But you're going to hear people talk, right? You can play music. You're able to text and do all that good stuff. Let's keep going. It is what it is. I just ordered, but Apple is playing with me. I use 14 Pro. That's good for you. There's nothing wrong with my iPhone 12. You can see me clearly. Exactly. That's the point. You can't see. Which with you got everything is there. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Hello, Finance Sandy. No worries. You're always welcome whenever. Can I change my visitor visa to a work visa? If you have an employer to sponsor you, you're still in a valid status, meaning your I-94 is not expired, and you've got someone to sponsor you, maybe cap exempt H-1B, O visa, P visa, whatever it is, or you change to student visa, you should be able to do that while you're in the country. Oh, God, I have a 2-year conditional green card already, but I recently got a message from USCIS saying my travel document I applied for was denied. What does that mean? So I can travel? Maybe. So look at when you filed that case, Dennis. Look at when you submitted the application, because there were some applications that we filed back in 2022 that my clients already have their green cards, but USCIS is now just getting to maybe the pending 765, the pending I-131, and now denying those, or they'll say a case closed, benefit received through other means. Somehow, I think they're clearing up their system. So those cases that were just left hanging, they're just not getting to them. So that's what I would say. Look at when that was filed. And if that's the case, if it was filed back then, just something you can ignore, because there's no reason why you would have filed an advanced parole if you have a 2-year green card. But like after you had the 2-year green card. So that's what Mr. Major was saying, yeah. Like for instance, Mr. AM, who got his green card last week. Was it last week? Yeah. I got 2 alerts today saying we denied his the renewal of the 765 and the advanced parole that we had filed before the green card was approved, and it was denied. So I just emailed because I knew who was probably going to email, like, what's going on? Like, yeah, they're supposed to deny it because you got a green card. So there's no point approving an advanced parole work authorization because you got a 10-year green card that satisfies travel and work permanently. So that's what it should be. Didn't know squat about immigration until I joined you here. Thanks for checking. Absolutely. Teachers will give a child homework that involves cutting. Of course, make it make sense. My friend has been on transfer to jurisdiction over 2 years. What's her hope? I'm not sure what case you're talking about, but everybody's hope is in God. But it depends on what her case is. If it's a valid case, then it's going to be transferred, and then it's going to be like that for 2-3 years, because that's how long it's taken. Mr. A's case, like I talked about, we filed his case in April 2021. That's 41 months. Yeah. Without RFE. Yep. Okay, let's see. Can a permanent resident work for a U.S. company abroad? A permanent resident, there's nothing that says you can't work for a company abroad. I'm not really sure I'm understanding what the issue is going to be. I think I'll go run for president. Okay, Mr. Majid, taking it too far now. Okay. I want to know how long it takes USCIS to acknowledge an RFE response of I-360 and adjudicate it. There's no time. There's no set time frame. Do you believe it is a good sign when you apply for VAL over 2.5 years and haven't gotten an RFE or know it and got 2 different work and travel? It's no good sign or bad sign or anything. It just depends on the strength of your case. And the one thing I always say, and I tell people even as we start this new month, please do yourself a favor. Stop. Just quit comparing your case to somebody else's case. I don't know. I mean, it's just me, the way I was raised. I've just never been someone to compare myself or anything I do to someone else. Not pride nor anything, but because of my peace of mind and knowing that we did not come to this world together, so our blessings are not going to run the same race. Um, so the fact that someone's case took 2.5 years, yours is still pending 3 years, it doesn't mean anything wrong with your case, and it doesn't mean that it's a bad sign because you didn't give you an RA. If you don't want them to give you an RA if you're not notice of intent to deny. You want them to approve your case without any of those issues, right? So if it, just like I just said, today is October 1st. That is really, almost 42 months from when his case was filed back in April 2021. And I had another case filed in the same April 2021 that he's had his green card since December 2022. So VAR case, same date, sent to the same office. You just never know. So hold on 1 second, yo. TJ. T. I told this guy to turn off my, what is that again? Like fine for being out of status as a student. Is there anything like fine for being out of status as a student? You can do a reinstatement. If you said, did you turn off the oven? Okay, thanks. Do you charge for consultation? I do. This is the free consultation. If you go on our website, you see that olalayalawfirm.com. 30 minutes, 140, 45 minutes to 10, 1 hour, 250. Yeah. But you can ask a question if you have a question you want to ask. Okay. Depends on the officer in your case. I have an I-751 that we filed December of 2023. Waiver-based, divorce waiver-based, approved first week in September. And I have another I-751 divorce waiver filed in November of 2022, still pending. Same, very, very similar facts, but different races of life. But anyway, Actually, thank you for you to guide us here. Thank you for joining. I pray, and my hope is, it doesn't replace. It's not a substitute for legal advice, but if it helps that you understand what route to follow, or what kind of attorney to consult with to get your case going, then then my job has been done. So as we start this new month, I received prima facie determination letter today. Congratulations on that. That's an initial review. How long before receiving my EAD? I've said this several times, and I'm going to say it again. Carrie, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Prima facie determination timeline has absolutely nothing to do with your work authorization. Completely different things. Prima facie is they've reviewed your VAR case. They see it has a face value. It makes a prima facie case. Work permit is attached to your I-485 while your VAR case is pending. One has absolutely nothing to do with the other. Can I travel back to my home country on an expired passport? How are you going to come back, get on the plane if you don't have a valid passport? I mean, I don't know, unless your country, I mean, going to your country, I'm sure that your country is going to accept you, but how do you come back in? Okay, let's see. I filed for both my mom and dad in June 2023. My mom's case got approved, but my dad's not. So what? I just have to wait. There's no rhyme or reading with USCIS, and it depends on if they're sent to the same service center. That's fine. Sometimes they may not be sent to the same service center. Adjusted from pending asylum to I-45 and got C09. Do I have to renew C08? I'm actually surprised they approved your C09 because adjustment of status from asylum is an A5. But you don't. C08 is for asylum pending. A5 is when you received your asylum, and you don't necessarily have to, but now that you have your I-485, or unless you don't have it, because if you have it, then you won't have to do that. But C9, I'm surprised you go to C9. You're supposed to have filed is it an A5 or C5? I think it's an A5. Can a divorce after vow application affect the outcome decision negatively? It shouldn't. Let's see. Someone is be someone 1 2 3 4 5. Hello, namesake. Can someone who was deported for fake documents who later became a UK citizen return to the US? You still would need a waiver. So if you coming in on an S, that doesn't necessarily mean, and that's even if you can get it, doesn't mean it can pull up your records. I got RFE on my vow case requesting for my divorce from my first marriage. It was traditional. That's the kind of thing I love to respond to. So I'd be glad to help you out if you want us to. So, but sit down with the lawyer. Affidavit is the way to go. Don't get and my lord and lagwajaba gets from customary court. That's when you're going to complicate your case. Please leave it as is and just get affidavits, because this is the kind of thing I love to fight, especially when you're dealing with a field office or service center that is not familiar. Because there was a case where they denied the I-130 because they said that affidavits are not evidence of termination of a customer. Whereas like, ooh, somebody's gonna they're about to find out very, very soon. Long story short, that case was approved. I didn't even do an appeal. I did the service request reopened and requested supervisor review. Like, somebody needs to teach the people here what the reciprocity schedule says. And just so you know, you need to understand people have cultures. Not everything is black and white like the United States. So, took them to school a little bit, and they reopened the case and approved it. So that's what you need to do. Superb Jewel. Don't go getting customary in the court decree that recorded in book number. No, don't do it. Just make life a lot easier for yourself, and talk to a lawyer. Good evening. I have a case green card, but my wife refuses to show up and ask for 30 days. All right. So have you submitted your VAWA case then? Okay. All right. So I think on Thursday, since we still have quite a bit of questions, I think on Thursday we'll do questions. But as I love coming to this place. Thank you. As we start this new month, we are agreeing in faith as we come together that it shall be well with each and every one of us. As this year comes to an end, it would not end with any of us. It would not end with any of our children. It would not end with any of our loved ones. All those that we started this year with, and God has kept them, all of us, to this time, that we shall see the end of this year and beyond. Our yesterdays as Mr. Sanctuary would not be better than our tomorrows. We want our tomorrows to be better than our yesterdays and todays. And we're decreeing and declaring that we will see God show up for us in every situation. That everything that our hands find to do this month, October 2024, shall excel. Everything that we set our eyes on shall succeed. No one will bring us down. Anyone who thinks they've set a trap for us, that want us to fail this month, they themselves shall fall in that trap, and our eyes shall behold the reward of the wicked. They will see us as God elevates us in every situation, every aspect of life. Our children shall succeed. They shall continue to be children of excellence. We speak favor, we speak grace, we speak brilliance into their lives, that they will go everywhere they go, that God gives them to set their feet on. They will make their marks for excellence. We shall not grieve over any of our children. All of us that are still waiting upon God to give us that grace, to give us that good news that we're expecting, whoever it is that has our case files in front of them, whatever immigration office, whatever USCIS officer, because the Bible says that the heart of the king is in his hands. He is God, the ultimate, the creative one that created the world, the only creator that created himself. And because he spoke this word into existence, he's able to speak into existence what shall be on our behalf. Whoever it is that has to make decisions about anything concerning us, be it immigration, be it health, be it wealth, whatever it is, be it on our children, we shall find favor. And they will make decisions in accordance to God's will. That we would look back at this month and say that indeed all things worked together for our good, because we know out of the truth the plans he has for us this month, in November, in December, for many decades to come, are not of evil but of good, to give us a future and a hope, and to bring us to that expected end. And as a community, we come together and truly and believe and speak in an agreement that that expected end, we shall witness it in perfect health, and giving all glory to God at the end of it all. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a good night.